The story of protein and aging has been told wrong for decades. Every morning, millions of people over 60 crack open an egg, convinced they are giving their bodies what they need to stay strong. They have been taught that protein is simple, that muscle weakness is inevitable, and that a couple of eggs will keep them going. But beneath this comfortable narrative lies a more complex truth about how our bodies change, what they truly need, and why so many people continue to lose strength despite following conventional wisdom. When you reach 60, your body undergoes a profound transformation that most doctors rarely explain in detail. The enzymes responsible for building muscle begin to decline dramatically, dropping to nearly half of what they were in your 20s. This means that even when you consume the same amount of protein you always have, your muscles cannot use it the way they once did. The amino acids float through your bloodstream, but the machinery that turns them into strength operates at reduced capacity. This biological shift creates a gap between what you eat and what your body can actually build with it. The medical research paints a sobering picture. Studies published in leading journals show that seniors who fail to meet their daily protein thresholds experience muscle loss at twice the normal rate. They face a 58% higher risk of falls, fractures, and hospitalization. These are not just statistics, but real people watching their independence slip away, one weakened step at a time. The tragedy is that many believe they are doing everything right, following the dietary advice that has been repeated for generations. Consider what happens when you eat that morning egg. 6 grams of protein enter your system, a modest contribution that barely registers against your actual needs. Your body requires far more to maintain muscle mass, let alone rebuild what time has taken. Yet the egg industry, worth over $300 billion globally, continues to position eggs as the cornerstone of senior nutrition. They appear in every hospital meal plan, dominate breakfast menus at care facilities, and feature prominently in fitness programs designed for older adults. This is not to say eggs are bad. They contain quality protein and important nutrients. But the relentless focus on eggs has overshadowed foods that deliver 2, 3, even 7 times more protein per serving. These alternatives often come with additional benefits that eggs cannot match, from anti-inflammatory compounds to digestive enzymes that help aging bodies actually use the nutrients they consume. The marketing machine behind eggs has been so effective that most people never question whether there might be something better. The real challenge facing anyone over 60 is not just getting enough protein, but getting the right kind in forms their body can efficiently process. As stomach acid production declines and digestive enzymes become less abundant, many traditional protein sources become harder to break down and absorb. Tough meats that once posed no problem now sit heavy in the stomach. Dense proteins that younger bodies handled with ease now cause bloating and discomfort. The solution requires rethinking not just how much protein you eat, but which sources you choose and how you prepare them. Picture someone in their 70s trying to maintain their strength. They dutifully eat their eggs, perhaps add some chicken at lunch, maybe have fish for dinner. On paper, it looks adequate, but their legs still grow weaker. Their grip still fails them, and getting up from a chair becomes an increasingly difficult task. They assume this decline is natural, an unavoidable part of aging. What they do not realize is that their protein choices, while not wrong, are far from optimal for their changing physiology. The science of muscle preservation after 60 involves more than just protein quantity. It requires understanding bioavailability, the speed of digestion, the presence of supporting nutrients, and the timing of consumption. Some proteins release their amino acids quickly, providing an immediate surge that aging muscles can capture. Others release slowly, feeding the body over hours. Some come packaged with minerals that enhance absorption, while others arrive alone, requiring the body to pull resources from elsewhere to process them. There exists a collection of foods, some common and some overlooked, that surpass eggs in every meaningful measure of protein delivery. These foods do not enjoy the marketing budgets of the egg industry. They do not appear in glossy advertisements or benefit from decades of promotional campaigns. Yet in clinical settings where muscle wasting must be reversed quickly, where elderly patients need rapid strength recovery, these are the foods that rehabilitation specialists turn to first. Understanding why conventional protein advice falls short requires examining how it developed. Much of what we believe about protein comes from research conducted on young athletes or middle-aged adults. The unique needs of seniors, with their altered metabolism and reduced digestive capacity, were often overlooked or minimized. The one-size-fits-all approach to protein recommendation ignores the dramatic physiological changes that occur after 60, changes that fundamentally alter how the body processes and uses nutrients. The truth is that reversing muscle loss and maintaining strength into your 70s, 80s, and beyond is entirely possible. It does not require extreme measures or exotic supplements. It simply requires knowing which foods deliver the most usable protein to aging muscles and understanding how to incorporate them into daily meals. The foods that accomplish this goal are not mysterious or expensive. Many sit in ordinary kitchens right now, misunderstood and underutilized, waiting to reveal their true potential. The journey to discovering superior protein sources begins with understanding plant-based options that most people overlook entirely. Chickpeas, those small round legumes sitting quietly in pantries worldwide, contain 19 grams of protein per 100 grams when cooked. This equals the protein content of 3 whole eggs, yet chickpeas bring none of the cholesterol or saturated fat that concerns many seniors managing heart health. They deliver their protein alongside fiber that aids digestion and iron that helps oxygen reach muscle tissue, creating a complete package that eggs simply cannot match. Consider Ruth, a 66-year-old woman who thought her diet was perfectly adequate. She ate an egg each morning, made sandwiches for lunch, and prepared simple soups for dinner. Yet she noticed her arms growing weaker when lifting grocery bags, and climbing stairs left her thighs burning with fatigue. Her doctor identified early signs of sarcopenia, the medical term for age-related muscle loss, despite her belief that she was consuming enough protein. When a nutritionist reviewed her meals, the truth emerged. Ruth was getting less than half the protein her aging body required to maintain muscle mass. The solution came through a simple addition. Ruth began adding half a cup of chickpeas to her daily salads. She learned to roast them for crunchy snacks and discovered the satisfaction of homemade hummus. Within 6 weeks, changes became apparent. She could walk farther without resting, lift more weight without straying, and her afternoon energy crashes disappeared. The chickpeas were not just providing fiber as she had assumed. They were delivering substantial, usable protein that her muscles desperately needed. What makes chickpeas particularly valuable for seniors involves their amino acid profile. While they contain less leucine than some animal proteins, they provide abundant glutamine and arginine. These amino acids support recovery and reduce inflammation, crucial factors for aging bodies dealing with chronic low-grade inflammation. When chickpeas are paired with whole grains or vitamin C sources like lemon juice, their protein becomes even more bioavailable. The body can extract and use more of what it needs, making every bite count toward muscle preservation. Moving beyond legumes, oats emerge as another misunderstood protein source. Most people view oats purely as a heart-healthy breakfast option, good for managing cholesterol, but little else. The reality is that oats contain 23 grams of protein per 100 grams, equivalent to nearly 4 eggs. They deliver this protein alongside beta-glucan, a special fiber that reduces inflammation, balances blood sugar, and improves the very insulin sensitivity that helps muscles absorb amino acids efficiently. Frank, a 70-year-old man, had eaten oatmeal every morning for years. He prepared it simply with water, viewing it as medicine for his cholesterol rather than food for his muscles. When his doctor noted declining muscle strength, Frank had not connected it to his diet. His walking had slowed, and rising from the couch required conscious effort. His granddaughter, a fitness coach, asked about his oatmeal preparation and smiled at his answer. She told him he was leaving power on the table. Frank transformed his morning bowl by cooking oats with milk instead of water, adding a generous spoonful of peanut butter, and topping everything with chia seeds. This simple change elevated his breakfast from 6 grams of protein to nearly 20. 3 weeks later, his walking pace had quickened. A month after that, he could stand without gripping furniture for support. The oats had always been there, but he had never understood how to unlock their true potential. Lentils represent perhaps the most underestimated protein source available to seniors. These tiny legumes pack 25 grams of protein per 100 grams when cooked, surpassing 4 whole eggs. They come without saturated fat or cholesterol, while providing magnesium for muscle function, potassium for fluid balance, and iron for oxygen transport. Their polyphenol content fights inflammation in aging tissues, particularly around joints that bear the burden of movement. Dolores, a 72-year-old retired piano teacher, discovered lentils during a difficult period. She had begun skipping meals, not from lack of food, but from diminished appetite. She assumed eating less was natural with age, but her hands started trembling when lifting cookware, and climbing stairs left her thighs burning with exhaustion. A nutritionist at her community center identified the problem immediately. Dolores was consuming barely 30 grams of protein daily, less than half what her body required to maintain muscle mass. The solution came through a simple lentil stew recipe that Dolores could prepare in batches. One bowl provided 20 grams of plant-based protein, along with iron and folate to enhance absorption. After a month of regular lentil consumption, Dolores described feeling like she had turned back the clock. Her grip strength improved dramatically, leg pain faded away, and she could lift her water pitcher with one hand again, something that had been impossible for years. The science behind these plant proteins reveals why they work so well for aging bodies. As we grow older, our digestive systems often struggle with heavy animal proteins. Meat can cause bloating, acid reflux, and general discomfort that discourages adequate consumption. Plant proteins, when properly prepared through soaking and thorough cooking, prove gentler on sensitive stomachs while still delivering substantial amino acids. Their complex carbohydrates provide sustained energy that keeps muscles fueled throughout the day, preventing the energy crashes that make seniors feel weak and unsteady. Understanding amino acid combinations becomes crucial for maximizing plant protein benefits. While individual plant proteins may lack certain essential amino acids, combining them creates complete proteins rivaling any animal source. Oats with nuts provide a full amino acid spectrum. Lentils with rice form a complete protein. Chickpeas with tahini and hummus create a perfectly balanced amino acid profile. These combinations occur naturally in traditional cuisines worldwide, suggesting that ancient wisdom recognized what modern science now confirms. The next tier of protein sources ventures into territory most seniors have never seriously considered. Pumpkin seeds, those small green kernels often discarded with Halloween decorations, contain 30 grams of protein per 100 grams. This astounding figure equals 5 whole eggs worth of protein packed into something you can carry in your pocket. But the protein content tells only part of the story. These seeds deliver zinc for immune function, magnesium for muscle contraction, and iron for oxygen transport, 3 minerals that directly impact muscle strength and endurance. Many seniors suffer from mineral deficiencies without realizing it. Even mild shortfalls in zinc, magnesium, or iron can reduce muscle strength by 20% or more, with leg muscles showing the most dramatic effects. The weakness people attribute to aging often stems from these hidden deficiencies rather than the passage of time itself. Pumpkin seeds address multiple nutritional gaps simultaneously while providing substantial protein. making them uniquely valuable for muscle preservation. Larry, a 68-year-old recovering from back surgery, faced a common challenge. The months of reduced activity had caused significant muscle loss in his legs. His doctor warned that without rebuilding this muscle, he would face long-term instability and increased fall risk. Larry resisted the idea of gym workouts, but agreed to modify his diet. His daughter, a dietitian, suggested something unconventional. She taught him to blend pumpkin seeds into his morning smoothies. 3 tablespoons of ground pumpkin seeds added over 10 grams of protein to his drink, along with a substantial dose of magnesium. The magnesium addressed his frequent leg cramps, while the protein supported muscle rebuilding. After several weeks, Larry noticed his legs feeling firmer and more stable. His energy rebounded, and his balance improved noticeably. The simple addition of seeds had delivered more protein than his previous egg-based breakfast, while providing minerals his recovering body desperately needed. Pumpkin seeds also contain tryptophan, an amino acid that promotes better sleep. This connection between sleep and muscle health cannot be overstated for seniors. During deep sleep, the body releases growth hormone and conducts crucial muscle repair. Poor sleep disrupts this process, accelerating muscle loss regardless of protein intake. By improving both protein consumption and sleep quality, pumpkin seeds create a multiplier effect for muscle preservation that few other foods can match. Cottage cheese emerges as another protein powerhouse hiding in plain sight. With 36 grams of protein per 100 grams, it equals 6 whole eggs while providing a fundamentally different type of protein. Cottage cheese consists primarily of casein, a slow-digesting protein that feeds muscles gradually over many hours. This sustained release proves especially valuable for older adults whose bodies process nutrients more slowly and less efficiently than in youth. Stella, 74 years old, had settled into a breakfast routine of toast and tea. It felt light and manageable, but her body was quietly deteriorating. Her legs trembled when rising from chairs, and walking to the corner store became an ordeal she dreaded. Her son suggested adding protein to a morning meal, but Stella worried about heavy foods upsetting her stomach. Cottage cheese offered the perfect solution, cool, creamy, and gentle on her digestive system. Half a cup of cottage cheese with fresh berries transformed her mornings. The meal felt light yet satisfying, and the protein began working immediately. Within 2 weeks, Stella noticed her legs no longer felt like jelly. Morning walks became easier, and she even resumed the gentle stretching routine she had abandoned years earlier. The casein protein in cottage cheese had been feeding her muscles throughout the morning, providing sustained nourishment that prevented the weakness she had accepted as normal. The calcium and B vitamins in cottage cheese work synergistically with its protein content. Calcium does more than strengthen bones. It plays a crucial role in muscle contraction and nerve signaling. B vitamins help convert protein into usable energy and support the neurological function necessary for balance and coordination. This combination of nutrients makes cottage cheese particularly effective for seniors dealing with both muscle weakness and stability issues. Tempeh, a fermented soybean product, stands as one of the most powerful yet unfamiliar protein sources available. With 39 grams of protein per 100 grams, it surpasses 6.5 eggs, while offering benefits that no animal protein can match. The fermentation process partially breaks down the proteins, making them easier for aging digestive systems to process. This predigestion means more amino acids actually reach muscle tissue instead of passing through the system unused. Robert, 69 years old and recently retired, wanted to maintain his active lifestyle. But walking more than a few blocks left his legs sore for days, a recovery time that frustrated and worried him. He had tried tofu, but found its texture unappealing. A neighbor suggested tempeh, describing it as having more substance and flavor. Robert decided to experiment, grilling slices with soy sauce and ginger. The nutty, substantial texture surprised him pleasantly. He began incorporating tempeh into stir-fries and salads 3 times weekly. Within a month, the transformation was remarkable. His legs no longer felt rubbery after walks. Recovery time shortened dramatically, and the swelling that typically followed active days disappeared entirely. He had not changed his exercise routine, only his protein source, yet his body responded as if he had reversed years of decline. Fermented foods like tempeh offer unique advantages for senior nutrition. The fermentation process creates beneficial bacteria that improve gut health, and a healthy gut enhances nutrient absorption across the board. The process also reduces antinutrients, compounds that can interfere with mineral absorption. For seniors taking multiple medications that may affect digestion, fermented protein sources provide a way to maximize nutrition despite compromised digestive function. The complete protein profile of tempeh deserves special attention. Unlike many plant proteins that lack certain essential amino acids, tempeh contains all 9 that the human body cannot produce independently. This completeness becomes increasingly important after 60, when the body's ability to synthesize certain amino acids declines. Every serving of tempeh provides exactly what aging muscles need without requiring careful food combining or supplementation. Greek yogurt represents a convergence of ancient wisdom and modern nutritional science. With up to 40 grams of protein per 100 grams, depending on the brand and preparation method, it nearly matches 7 whole eggs, while offering a digestibility that aging bodies desperately need. The straining process that creates Greek yogurt concentrates its protein while removing much of the lactose that troubles many seniors. What remains is a smooth, creamy food that delivers both casein and whey proteins, providing immediate muscle fuel while sustaining protein synthesis for hours afterward. Carol, 71 years old, had always dismissed yogurt as a minor breakfast accompaniment. She would have a few spoonfuls with fruit, treating it more like a condiment than a protein source. This casual approach changed dramatically after she tripped over a curb and struggled to regain her footing. The weakness in her legs shocked her, as if they had simply refused to respond when she needed them most. Her physical therapist identified significant muscle weakness and asked detailed questions about her dietary protein intake. That evening, Carol examined the label on her regular yogurt for the first time. 6 grams of protein, barely a contribution to her daily needs. She switched to plain, high-protein Greek yogurt, adding cinnamon for flavor and crushed walnuts for texture and additional nutrition. The change was profound. Within weeks, her balance improved noticeably. The persistent aches in her calves faded away, and she could walk longer distances without needing rest breaks. Something so simple, so readily available, had been the missing piece in her struggle against muscle decline. The efficiency of Greek yogurt in stimulating muscle protein synthesis cannot be overstated. This process, whereby the body repairs and rebuilds muscle fibers after daily wear and tear, becomes increasingly inefficient with age. Greek yogurt provides abundant leucine, the specific amino acid that triggers this rebuilding process in aging muscle tissue. The concentration of leucine in Greek yogurt exceeds that found in most other protein sources, making it particularly valuable for seniors whose muscle-building machinery needs stronger signals to activate. The probiotics in Greek yogurt add another dimension to its benefits. These beneficial bacteria improve gut health, which directly impacts how well the body absorbs all nutrients, not just protein. Many seniors take medications that disrupt gut bacteria, creating a cascade of digestive issues that ultimately impair nutrition. Greek yogurt helps restore bacterial balance while delivering easily absorbed protein, addressing multiple age-related challenges simultaneously. At the pinnacle of protein density sits an unexpected champion. Parmesan cheese, particularly authentic Parmigiano Reggiano, contains 42 grams of protein per 100 grams. This staggering figure surpasses 7 eggs, most steaks, chicken breasts, and fish fillets. But raw numbers tell only part of the story. The aging process that creates true Parmesan partially breaks down its proteins, making them remarkably bioavailable to bodies that struggle with protein digestion. Joseph, 75 years old and a former carpenter, had built his life with his hands. Strength had defined him, made his career possible, given him independence. After a hip injury, that strength evaporated. Physical therapy helped with mobility, but progress plateaued. His muscles seemed unwilling or unable to rebuild despite his efforts. His daughter, researching recovery diets used in senior rehabilitation clinics, discovered something surprising. High-quality aged cheeses featured prominently in the most successful programs. She brought Joseph real Parmigiano Reggiano, not the processed powder sold in shakers, but authentic aged cheese. She instructed him to grate it fresh onto everything: soups, eggs, salads, vegetables. 2 heaping tablespoons daily became his new routine. The transformation was remarkable. Within weeks, his walking speed increased measurably. His muscles began showing definition again. Most importantly, Joseph could climb stairs without gripping the rail, a feat that had seemed impossible just months earlier. The calcium vitamin K2 and phosphorus in Parmesan work together to strengthen not just bones, but the muscle tissue attached to them. This mineral matrix creates a foundation for strength that extends beyond simple protein consumption. The aging process that concentrates these nutrients also reduces lactose to negligible levels, making Parmesan digestible, even for those with dairy sensitivities. A small amount delivers substantial nutrition without overwhelming sensitive stomachs or causing the bloating that plagues many seniors. Creating sustainable protein habits after 60 requires understanding both the science and the practical realities of aging. Appetite often diminishes with age, making volume eating impossible. Digestive capacity decreases, making heavy meals uncomfortable. Taste preferences change, making formerly enjoyed foods unappealing. The foods discussed throughout this exploration address these challenges by providing concentrated nutrition in manageable portions with flavors that enhance rather than mask meals. The implementation strategy matters as much as the food choices themselves. Start with one new protein source, introducing it gradually to allow your digestive system to adjust. Pay attention to timing, consuming protein throughout the day rather than loading it into single meals. Combine protein sources to create complete amino acid profiles and enhance absorption. Most importantly, choose preparations that appeal to your current preferences rather than forcing yourself to eat foods you find unpleasant. The evidence is overwhelming. Muscle loss is not an inevitable consequence of aging, but a preventable decline that results from inadequate or inappropriate protein consumption. The foods that can reverse this decline are not exotic, expensive, or difficult to find. They sit in grocery stores, farmers markets, and perhaps already in your kitchen, waiting to be understood and utilized properly. Chickpeas, oats, lentils, pumpkin seeds, cottage cheese, tempeh, Greek yogurt, and Parmesan cheese each offer unique advantages that, when combined strategically, create a protein portfolio far superior to the conventional egg-centered approach. The transformation these foods enable extends beyond physical strength. Maintaining muscle mass preserves independence, prevents falls, enables continued participation in life activities, and provides the energy needed to remain engaged with the world. Every gram of bioavailable protein consumed represents an investment in future capability, a deposit in the bank of physical resilience that pays dividends for years to come. The path forward is clear. Replace the outdated notion that eggs alone can meet your protein needs. Embrace the diversity of protein sources that science has validated and clinical practice has proven effective. Start where you are comfortable, perhaps with Greek yogurt at breakfast or chickpeas at lunch. Build gradually, adding new sources as your confidence and experience grow. Monitor how your body responds, adjusting portions and timing to optimize your individual results. Most importantly, understand that the weakness often attributed to aging is neither inevitable nor irreversible. With the right protein sources, properly prepared and consistently consumed, strength can be maintained and even rebuilt well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond.